Hello and welcome to our live booth coverage from Strata New York. I'm Max Slocum. My first guest today is Joe Adler, Senior Data Scientist at LinkedIn and author of our In a Nutshell. Joe, thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Can marketing and data get along?
I think marketing and data have to get along. I think that marketing has been about data for many years. If you look at industries where companies have relationships with customers directly, if you were to look at consumer banking, if you look at catalog retailers, they've always been very data intensive. Credit card companies, for example, might spend 50 cents to send somebody a credit card solicitation. And if you're spending 50 cents to mail somebody a solicitation, you want to do analysis on that. You want to know if you're getting your return on investment. I think the thing that might be a little bit new is that consumer web companies are really starting to build up databases that are big enough that they can do analysis, and the marketing people can start to look at the effectiveness of marketing and to try to understand how they can use data for the first time. So I think that there's always been a close relationship, or the potential for a close relationship.
So why is marketing a recommendation problem rather than a sales problem?
I think that the reason is that because it can be. Our feeling is that it works much better to try to recommend the right item for a user rather than to just say you should go and buy this thing or use this service. The more personal you can make your message, the more you can bring your product to the user, the more effective your marketing is. So rather than saying we have something awesome, you can say, hey, look at this thing here about you and look what you can learn from it. It's a better way to get somebody involved. Users burn out on information. You talk to a user too much and they're going to get sick of listening to you. So the more effectively you use that time, the better things work.
How much human input went into something like LinkedIn's year in review email? I mean, that was a very catchy email. I know a lot of people who actually did pay attention to that one.
There was a lot of human input. We actually did a lot of analysis up front to try to understand what we wanted to do, and we had some idea about how we wanted to approach the problem. We knew that the annual reports felt like a good thing to do, or New Year's cards, and we kind of had this idea of sending out this Happy New Year message. Vidya, who was the marketing manager on it, had done this successfully elsewhere. She'd done this at Match.com. She'd had fabulous success sending somebody a message saying, I think the message they sent said something like, "Who was your first kiss of 2009?" when she did this, and it was really successful. We had this vision in mind of trying to connect with users in that way. But at LinkedIn, we really like to push our product. We like to try to use some of the information that we have about each user and share that with them. Like, we like to give you a little bit of the product in an email. And we knew that job changes were really popular. It was one of the most popular things that users look at on the site. So we thought that combining those two together would be a good combination. So there was a bit of brainstorming there, but it was based on some data. We had some information, we had some evidence, we knew something that would work. So there's definitely creativity there. But we did know something. It didn't come out of nowhere.
Right. So last question for you. What can marketers learn from data scientists and vice versa? It's a big question.
I think it is a big question. I think that to some extent they're the same people. That the people who are really good at marketing are really good at a lot of things. So I'll give you a specific example. So there's a guy I work with whose name is Sripad Srinam. He's an MBA. He went to Kellogg. He's also got a computer science degree from Michigan. He is a brilliant marketer. He can write terrific copy. He can sit down and come up with a great vision for what a message should look like, or either on our site or on a billboard, and what it should say. But he can also write code, and he's actually written production code at LinkedIn. So you have this guy who can do everything. Yeah. And I think that's unfortunately that's true across the board. That people who are flexible and can do a lot of different things and enjoy doing different things are great marketers, and they're also great data people. I think it's that ability to do a lot of different things. So what can marketers learn from data people and vice versa? I think the way of thinking is helpful. I think that good data scientists try to learn about the world. I think they try to ask good questions and say, wow, I've got a lot of this data here. What can I learn from it? How can I make this data smaller? How can I get it to a point where I can understand it? And I think that same sort of thinking, that same sort of analytical thinking is really helpful in marketing, in approaching a marketing problem. To think about things experimentally, to measure, and to use data.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for being with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.